Yeah, you do actually. Like in Holland, I taught 24 lessons a week, and in China it's about 14 to 20. You know, so yeah, the working hours are a lot less, but yeah, it can be quite intense as well. Working, it can be quite tiring because like the language barrier and everything. So that's my biggest. That was my biggest problem at first. Like I had no assistants in my classroom, so no Chinese teachers that could translate or make the kids be quiet, you know. But like 99%, 95% of other teachers all have assistants, but I just got a bit unlucky, I guess. But that's okay. It made me into like a better teacher, I guess. Like it required more of me, and yeah, I have a lot of time here, so. I finish work at 5 o'clock, and then yeah. But during the day, I can sit in a place like this. I go here often and have some coffee, prepare my lessons, watch some YouTube videos, listen to some music, just study some Chinese, read something, and then yeah. Usually from Thursday onwards, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, I meet with my friends and yeah, we go somewhere. Usually a bar, like, but yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to explore the environment around here. There's a lot of clubs where you can yeah, sign up for. It's very cheap. You can go camping. You can go to a mountainous area, hot springs, hiking. The West Lake is around here. So yeah, some Sunday mornings, some Sunday afternoons, I'm just bored, and my house is like 10 minutes from West Lake. So I was like, okay, I'm just sitting here. It's a nice day. Let's get on my e-bike and go to West Lake, walk around a little, watch some people, and yeah, just sit there. I'll buy a coffee or whatever, and just look at the lake, and yeah, it's very serene. Has a nice energy about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always like to spend time there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna come back next year, so I kind of want to move away from the bars a little bit and explore nature more and hiking and stuff. But I hope I can motivate my friends to join me on this difficult quest. But I'll try, you know.
Yeah.
But you have enough time to pretty much do whatever you want. Yeah, so that I really like that. You know, there's a lot of freedom to yeah, explore yourself, explore the city, explore the surroundings, and meet with your friends and stuff. Yeah. Well, it varies a lot between school to school. Some teachers I know are very like yeah, they have amazing colleagues. Some kind of live on an island, you know, they're their only foreign teacher, just like me. So what usually happens is if you are the only foreign teacher, you kind of like, you're like a Koos vriendloos, you know, like you have like no friends. But that yeah, because most Chinese, their English is not that great, so they kind of feel embarrassed to maybe open up to you, and if your Chinese is not that great, so it's just gonna be an issue, you know. I have some friends that the English teachers over at my school. I talk with them, and yeah, but I haven't made any friends that I work with actually. Like if you ask them, they will help you for sure. But usually I kind of like leave you alone. Like communication in China is not their strongest point. For example, in Holland, everything needs to be communicated, like emails. Did you read the email and WhatsApp groups? And if there's a change in the school, everyone needs to know it. Everyone hears about it for 10 times. Here, a few times I came to school and there was oh, there's an activity today. You don't have lessons, or you have to give a test next week. And I'm like, oh, I have to give a test. So I don't like communication was a big problem for me. Now I'm very flexible. I wasn't ticked off or anything. I'm like, okay, good. I'm very flexible in that way. But if you like to be in the loop about everything that's going on in the school, then you're gonna need to adapt your attitude a little bit. Just go with the flow, and don't go too hard on them. Like, it's okay. Like, it's a different culture. Like they have their strong points, we have our strong points, and the communication towards the foreigners, at least in my opinion, and my friends as well, they all say the same thing basically. Like, you go there and there's no lessons, or you had to start earlier the next day. Oh, tomorrow you're gonna start this hour. Like, oh, okay, you know. So yeah, but yeah, the Chinese teachers, they're very hardworking. I think they don't take any crap, you know. Like, they're very strict, very strict. Whenever I had difficulties controlling the kids, and one teacher would come in and they would be like, oh, okay, they would be quiet, and they would sit up and like almost like a march, you know. But yeah, so that's what I've learned as well. Like, be more tough in the beginning. Like, don't be too nice, because it will be harder in the end. But anyway, the colleagues, yeah, no, good nice people. Usually women. The male teachers are only like PE teachers. Like, mostly are female teachers. Like, I look at the lunch area and it's like, one guy, two guys, three guys, and 40 women, you know. But they're tough ladies for sure. Like, I hear them yelling and screaming. They make kids cry and stuff. I sometimes I feel, well, they're pretty rough on them, but actually now I totally understand why they do why they do this, and I try to learn from them a little bit, like, and how they do it. So yeah, yeah. If you have to be a bit lucky with your colleagues, I guess. I've had two, three friends, colleagues, work friends, but not that I would hang out with during the day or the weekend. The first 2 months may be a little bit short, you know, because you have to pay all the gym subscription, the e-bike. If you get one, you should get one, and like the garage, and, you know, whatever you want, like a month-long or a year-long subscription. Usually you have to pay in advance. So the first 2 months were kind of tight, but then a few months later I checked my bank account. I was like, oh, I was kind of surprised. Like, oh, okay, I spend a lot every weekend. Don't cook at home. Just eat out every day. There's nothing I don't do because of money, actually. Like, if my friends say, oh, you go, let's go there. Okay, go, let's go. Like, there's no concern of, oh no, I won't be able to pay the bills. So, for example, Haida pays the rent. You don't have any rent you have to pay. Electricity is very cheap. Internet is cheap. Water is cheap. So that's not going to drain your funds at all. Yeah, if you buy rounds every day for all your friends, then it might be a little tricky. But, you know, what I did, I calculated how much money I can spend every day. So I took my salary every month and I divided it by 30. And yeah, that told me, okay, I can spend this many kwai a day, and I tried to spend 1/3 of that. So yeah, so I knew at the end of the day, there are some days I went way over, some days I went way under, so it kind of evened out. So I didn't keep track of all my money, but I knew, like, okay, spend this much today, I should spend this much tomorrow, and then I knew it would always work out. The Chinese lessons are kind of, yeah, they're not cheap, but for me it's definitely worth it. My the company I take lessons at is very good. But yeah, like I said, it's you have enough money here to live a very comfortable life. Travel, eat out, have fun, and save money. Yeah, all in one. Yeah, I feel like they leave you alone here more. In Holland, you have like people coming to see you less. Yeah, it's pretty much difficult to say, really. Like, yeah, of course it's very different because you have Chinese kids instead of Dutch kids. You can't correct their behavior in your native language. So that's an issue for me. I had a lot of room to do whatever. To teach them however I want. Actually, what they said was, you don't have to teach them English. Just try to motivate them to study English the next years. Because I teach grade 1, grade 2, 6, 7-year-olds, and they just basically said, you don't have to teach them English. Just motivate them to teach to want to learn how to speak English next year, grade 3. So I feel like that's, if your boss in Holland says that, like, no, you don't have to teach them English. that would be strange, right? Because that's your job. But I didn't take that seriously. Like I'm here to teach them English, right? So that's what I try to do. But yeah, in Holland I teach high school. Here I teach grade 1, 6, 7-year-olds. So for me it was a different world. It's I had no experience with that, so I cannot compare an elementary school, a Dutch one and a Chinese one. I don't know, but I think like discipline is a lot more important here. Discipline, because there are so many Chinese kids. If they run around, all of them, then it's gonna be a zoo, you know. So first of all, there needs to be discipline, and then you can yeah, then you can start teaching. So what I noticed a lot is that they, for example, the Chinese teacher reads a story, and then the Chinese kids repeat it after them. So the teacher says a line, and then they say a line. So it's a lot about teacher focused. That's very teacher focused. In the West, it's more like, oh, each kid is a unique little flower, and try to exploit their talents and their natural you know, inclinations. But here it's like, no, shut up, sit down, and I'm gonna teach you what you need to know, you know. And that in some way I get it, because there's so many kids. It's not realistic to really exploit every kid's true desires and stuff. But on the other hand, it's kind of like yeah, killing of the individuality of the kids.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to see is that, yeah, maybe China could, like, nah, it's their way, I guess. Like, who am I to say what they should do? But I just noticed that in Holland it's way more about individual kid, Montessori and stuff like that. And here it's more like, shut up, sit down, and study this. Yeah, that's always a difficult question to me. Like I've lived in England as well for like 6 months, and at that time when I still lived there, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what I've learned. But then when I came home, the months after, the years after, I kind of started realizing how I changed, and the memories, how they shaped me, you know. So for me to say now, it's gonna help me. I think I will find out later. But I know some, like for example, my Chinese. I hope to kind of work with Chinese people in Holland for that could be nice. I think Chinese are very hardworking and like yeah, nice. I love the language. It's amazing. So for the next year, I really want to go back to really studying Chinese very, very hard, and get my HSK 4 or 5. And do something with it in China, like work with Chinese, teach Chinese people, teach Chinese to Dutch kids, like very easy introductory Chinese. Something with that. Also, like, yeah, living by yourself in a different country, it's always going to be beneficial for your maturity, your experience. Money, you won't take when you're old. Your money won't matter, just your memories, you know. So. I recorded the song here, so for kids. So I know 10-20 years from now I can listen to that song and remember, because that experiences are like untangible. You cannot grab them. But things like pictures, the videos, the song I recorded, that's yeah, you can. That's like something physical, sort of, you know. So yeah, I think pretty much it. The Chinese, just the experience overall, and yeah. Hopefully, like, yeah, meet a lot of friends. I've met a lot of friends in England and South Africa. So hopefully some new vacation destinations for later. So especially English people, I feel like Dutch and English their cultures are pretty much very much alike. The humor and stuff, drinking culture, and so yeah, I'll cherish those memories and those friends, yeah, forever, for sure. Well, first of all, when you tell your family and friends, they're gonna probably be kind of surprised of, well, like, why China? Like, they don't, like, oh, they eat dogs and stuff. Like, I've heard like 10 people said that to me. But to me, that was just silly. I don't know, like, and just rest assured that it's nothing like that. It's very advanced. Like I came here, like you have apps, you have Alipay, WeChat. In a lot of ways, China is way more advanced and technically,
Yeah.
whatever, and yeah, culturally. In some ways it's not, in other ways it is. So there's kind of like a balance, I guess. Yeah, prepare for me. I took Chinese very seriously. I loved it. Yeah, maybe if you know which grade you are going to teach, just try to read up a little bit. Maybe you have some friends that teach the same grade or the same age kids, and try to, yeah, what games do you use? Do you have any? Talk to ESL teachers. Yeah, just inform yourself a little bit about yeah. Also, for example, the culture. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about life in China. There's two YouTuber, Laowei86 and Serbenza. I watched a lot of their videos about living in China. They've been living in China for like 15 years. Yeah, they kind of like shape my thinking of like, what can I expect? What should you not do? What should you not do? What should you do? How can you give face to Chinese people and stuff? But yeah, in reality, it's always different, of course. So first of all, don't listen to your friends and family too much when you tell them. Just like focus on your own thing. Like it's your journey, not theirs, you know. And yeah, try to pick up some Chinese, and just know that it's gonna be great here. Just because all the people here, they come here alone basically, so it's very easy to yeah, meet friends. We all come here alone. We all need friends. We don't want to sit by ourselves in our room, crying, sucking our thumbs. So even if you're a bit shy, don't worry. Just everything will be alright.